What if the fear you feel every day isn't coming from your life, but from your attachment to it? What if the anxiety, the overthinking, the constant sense that something might go wrong is not reality, but a habit of the mind? Paramahansa Yogananda taught that fear is not your natural state. Peace is. Fear is something you have learned, absorbed, and repeated so many times that it now feels real. But the truth is, beneath all that noise, there is a calm, fearless awareness within you that has never been disturbed. Fear begins the moment you start believing that your safety depends on external conditions. When you think your happiness depends on people behaving a certain way, on life unfolding according to your plans, on things staying exactly as they are, fear quietly enters your mind. Because deep down, you know that life is unpredictable. And anything that feels uncertain becomes a threat to the ego. Yogananda explained that the root of fear is identification with the body and the temporary world. When you believe, I am this body, I am this role, I am this situation, then naturally, you will fear losing it. You will fear change. You will fear rejection, failure, and even death. But when you begin to realize that you are something deeper, something unchanging and eternal, fear starts to lose its grip. Think about it. Every fear you have is connected to something you might lose. Fear of losing a relationship. Fear of losing money. Fear of losing respect. Fear of losing control. But what if your identity was not tied to any of these things? What if your sense of self came from something within you that cannot be taken away? This is where the shift begins. Yogananda taught that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the soul, the observer behind all experiences. And the soul is not afraid. The soul is steady, peaceful, and aware. It watches everything, but it is not shaken by anything. The problem is, most people never learn to stay connected to this deeper self. They live entirely on the surface of life, reacting to every situation, every thought, every emotion. And because of that, their peace is constantly disturbed. Fear also grows stronger when you try to control everything. The more you try to predict outcomes, the more you imagine worst-case scenarios. The more you think, what if this goes wrong? The more your mind creates stories that feel real, even though they haven't happened. Yogananda called this misuse of imagination. The same mind that can create peace can also create fear. And when you repeatedly focus on negative possibilities, your body responds as if those things are actually happening. Your heart races. Your breathing changes. Your energy becomes restless. And slowly, fear becomes your default state. So how do you break this cycle? Not by fighting fear, but by understanding it. The moment you observe your fear without reacting to it, you create distance. You realize, this is just a thought. This is just a feeling. It is not me. This awareness is powerful. Because what you observe, you are no longer controlled by. Yogananda emphasized the practice of inner stillness. When you sit quietly, close your eyes, and bring your attention inward, something begins to shift. At first, your mind will resist. It will bring up thoughts, worries, distractions. But if you stay with it, if you keep bringing your attention back, you will begin to feel a subtle peace. That peace is always there. It is not something you create. It is something you uncover. And the more you connect with that inner stillness, the weaker fear becomes. Because fear cannot exist in the presence of deep awareness. It needs unconsciousness. It needs you to believe in every thought it creates. Another important teaching of Yogananda is the power of faith. Not blind belief, but a deep inner trust that life is guided by a higher intelligence. When you trust that everything happening in your life is part of a larger unfolding, you stop resisting so much. You stop trying to control every outcome. This doesn't mean you become passive. You still take action. You still make decisions. But your actions are no longer driven by fear. They are guided by clarity. Fear also disappears when you learn to accept uncertainty. Most people want guarantees. They want to know that everything will work out exactly as they want. But life does not offer that. And the more you demand certainty, the more anxious you become. Yogananda taught that true freedom comes when you are okay with not knowing. When you can say, I don't know what will happen, but I trust myself to handle it. Something shifts inside you. You stop fearing the unknown, and you start living more fully in the present moment. There is also a deep connection between fear and attachment. The more attached you are to outcomes, the more afraid you are of losing them. But when you practice detachment, even slightly, fear begins to fade. Because you are no longer holding on so tightly. This is why Yogananda often spoke about living with calmness in action. You do your best, you give your full effort, but inwardly, you remain relaxed. You are not tense about the result. You are not constantly worrying about what might go wrong. As you begin to live this way, you will notice that your mind becomes quieter. The constant background noise of worry starts to fade. You feel more present, more aware, more alive. And slowly, you begin to realize that fear was never a permanent part of you. It was just a pattern, a habit of thinking that you can unlearn. The more you practice awareness, the more you return to your inner stillness, the more you trust the flow of life, the more fearless you become. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you are no longer depending on perfection to feel at peace. And in that space, something powerful begins to awaken within you, a quiet strength that does not react, does not panic, does not collapse under pressure. A strength that simply observes, understands, and remains steady no matter what is happening around you. And the more you stay connected to that inner strength, the more your relationship with fear begins to transform. You no longer see fear as something to escape, but as something to understand. Because every time fear arises, it is pointing to an illusion, something you believe you cannot handle, something you think will break you, something you feel is beyond your control. But the truth is, most of what you fear never happens, and even when it does, you are far more capable than your mind allows you to believe. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it, rooted in inner calmness. This means you don't wait for fear to disappear before you move forward. You move forward with awareness, even while fear is present. And as you do, something incredible happens. Fear begins to dissolve on its own. When you stop avoiding what scares you, you take away its power. Avoidance feeds fear. Action weakens it. But this action must come from a place of awareness, not force. You are not pushing yourself aggressively. You are gently stepping beyond your comfort zone, with trust in yourself. Another powerful shift happens when you stop personalizing everything. Fear often comes from thinking that every situation is about you, what people think of you, how they might judge you, what could go wrong for you. But when you step back and observe life more objectively, you realize that most things are not personal. People act from their own conditioning. Situations unfold based on countless factors. And you are just one part of a much larger flow. This realization brings relief. Because you no longer carry the weight of controlling everything. You begin to move through life with more ease. Yogananda also emphasized the importance of mental discipline. Your mind is like a garden. If you do not consciously choose what grows there, fear and negativity will naturally take over. So you must learn to plant better thoughts. Not by forcing positivity, but by consciously redirecting your attention. Whenever fear arises, instead of feeding it with more thoughts, bring your focus to something grounding. Your breath. Your body. The present moment. This simple shift interrupts the cycle of fear. It brings you back to reality, away from imagined scenarios. Over time, this becomes a habit. Instead of spiraling into anxiety, you return to awareness. And this changes everything. Faith also deepens at this stage. Not as an idea, but as an experience. You begin to see that even the challenges in your life are shaping you, strengthening you, guiding you. And when you trust that there is a deeper intelligence behind life, fear loses its foundation. You stop asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" And you start feeling, "Even if things go wrong, I will be okay." That quiet confidence is the beginning of fearlessness. There is also a profound freedom that comes when you accept impermanence. Everything in life is changing. Every situation, every relationship, every phase. And fear comes from trying to hold on to what is naturally moving. But when you accept change as part of life, you stop resisting it. You flow with it. And in that flow, there is peace. Yogananda taught that true security is not found in controlling life, but in connecting with the unchanging presence within you. That presence is always calm, always steady, always aware. And the more you live from that place, the less you are affected by external uncertainty. As you continue practicing this, you will notice a subtle but powerful shift in your daily life. Situations that once triggered anxiety will feel lighter. Decisions will become clearer. You will no longer overthink every possibility. Instead, you will respond with calmness and clarity. Fear may still arise from time to time, but it will no longer control you. It will come and go, like a passing cloud. And you will remain grounded, like the sky behind it. This is the secret to living without fear, not eliminating uncertainty, not controlling every outcome, but becoming so deeply rooted in your inner self that nothing outside can shake you. And when you reach this state, life opens up in a completely new way. You take risks without panic. You love without fear of loss. You act without constant doubt. You live fully, not because everything is certain, but because you are no longer afraid of uncertainty. So the next time fear appears, don't run from it. Pause. Observe it. Breathe through it. And remind yourself that you are not this fear, you are the awareness behind it. And if this message spoke to you, don't just leave it here. Start practicing it in your daily life. Take small steps toward fearlessness every single day. And if you want more deep, practical spiritual wisdom like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay connected on this journey of inner strength, peace, and true freedom.